What if the next great artist is sleeping on the streets right now and nobody knows it? Have you ever had a hidden talent that no one recognized? Have you ever walked past someone and wondered what dreams are carrying inside? Have you ever seen someone in your community whose potential was completely invisible to the world around them? Tonight, I'm sharing a story that will change how you see every person you pass on the street. It's about a homeless black girl named Nia Cole who spent freezing nights curled under a store awning downtown, protecting something more precious than food or shelter, her secret artistic gift, while the city rushed past her every day. Treating her as invisible, Nia was creating masterpieces with nothing but charcoal and scraps of paper. Her drawings captured beauty, hope, and raw emotion that would leave you breathless. But nobody knew. Nobody stopped to look. Until one night, when billionaire art collector Malcolm Reed noticed a glimmer of light reflecting off something extraordinary. If you believe everyone deserves to be seen for their gifts, hit that like button right now. Because what happened next will restore your faith in human potential and the power of recognition. Nia had been living on the streets for 8 months, ever since the foster system aged her out at 18 with nowhere to go. But while most people saw just another homeless teenager, they missed the tattered backpack she clutched protectively, her portable gallery containing dozens of drawings that would rival museum collections. Every evening, after the rush hour crowds thinned out, Nia would settle beneath the awning of Murphy's Corner Store. The owner had stopped chasing her away months ago, perhaps recognizing that she caused no trouble and kept the area clean. This small stretch of concrete had become her sanctuary, her studio, her home. She had her routine perfected. Wait until the streetlight provided just enough illumination, then carefully extract her supplies. Pieces of charcoal salvaged from construction sites, paper scraps rescued from dumpsters, sometimes even the clean backs of discarded flyers. Her fingers moved with practiced grace, creating beauty from nothing. Her subjects varied wildly. Sometimes she drew the couple who shared coffee at the bus stop every morning, capturing the tenderness in their glances. Other nights, she sketched the old man who fed pigeons in the park, his loneliness and kindness flowing through her strokes. She drew children playing, business people rushing, street vendors laughing, the entire heartbeat of the city that ignored her existence. The drawings weren't just art. They were her connection to humanity, her way of saying, "I see you," to a world that refused to see her. Each sketch was a love letter to life, despite how harshly life had treated her. But Nia's greatest fear wasn't hunger or cold. It was losing her art. Those drawings were her identity, her proof that she mattered, her hope for a future beyond these streets. Every night around 9 o'clock, when the foot traffic slowed and the harsh daylight softened into gentle streetlight glow, Nia would begin her ritual. She'd spread her warm blanket like a makeshift easel, arrange her precious charcoal pieces by size, and select tonight's canvas from her collection of rescued paper. Her movements were deliberate, almost ceremonial. This wasn't just drawing. It was meditation, therapy, and prayer all rolled into one. Tonight, she was working on a portrait of Mrs. Chun, the elderly woman who ran the flower stand 3 blocks away. Nia had watched her for weeks, studying how her weathered hands arranged bouquets with such care, how her eyes lit up when children stopped to smell the roses. The drawing captured all of that, the gentleness, the wisdom, the quiet joy of someone who found beauty in everyday moments. As she worked, Nia felt a familiar peace that only came with creation. The sound of the city faded away. The cold seemed less bitter. For these precious hours, she wasn't homeless. She was an artist. Comment below if you've ever used creativity to survive difficult times, because what Nia was about to do next took incredible courage. When she finished Mrs. Chen's portrait, she did something she rarely allowed herself. She propped the drawing against a store window where the light would catch it, where someone, anyone, might actually see her work. It was a risk, a vulnerable hope that maybe, just maybe, someone would notice. Malcolm Reed wasn't supposed to be walking these streets at 10 p.m. The billionaire art collector usually spent his evenings at gallery openings or private viewings, but tonight his driver was stuck in traffic, so he decided to walk the 12 blocks to his downtown penthouse. That's when he saw it, a flash of light catching something propped against Murphy's store window. His trained eye, honed by decades of discovering emerging artists, immediately recognized that this wasn't random graffiti or amateur doodles. Malcolm stopped dead in his tracks. The portrait of an elderly Asian woman arranging flowers was rendered with a skill that took his breath away. Every line spoke of careful observation, genuine emotion, and technical ability that couldn't be taught, only nurtured. "Excuse me," he said gently, approaching the figure huddled nearby. "Did you create this?" Nia looked up, startled and defensive. Her first instinct was to grab the drawing and run, but something in the stranger's voice stopped her. He didn't sound threatening or condescending. He sounded amazed. "Maybe," she said cautiously, ready to bolt if this went badly. Malcolm crouched down to her level, making sure he wasn't towering over her. "I'm Malcolm. I collect art for a living, and I have to tell you, this is extraordinary. The way you've captured her expression, the life in her eyes. This is museum-quality work. Share this if you believe talent exists everywhere, because what Malcolm discovered next changed both their lives forever. You really think it's good?" Nia whispered, her protective walls cracking slightly. "I think it's more than good. I think you're incredibly gifted." He paused, choosing his words carefully. "Would you be comfortable showing me more of your work? I'd love to see what else you created." For the first time in months, Nia felt something she'd almost forgotten hope. Slowly, with trembling hands, she reached for her backpack. One by one, Nia carefully unfolded her drawings from their protective wrapping. Each piece revealed another layer of her extraordinary talent. A businessman rushing to catch a bus, his stress and determination captured in bold strokes. Children playing in the park, their joy radiating from the paper. An old homeless veteran she befriended, his dignity intact despite his circumstances. Malcolm's silence spoke volumes. His eyes moved from drawing to drawing, and Nia watched his expression shift from impressed to amazed to something approaching awe. "How long have you been creating art?" he asked finally. "Since I was little. My mom used to bring home leftover paper from her cleaning jobs, so I could draw." Nia's voice softened at the memory. "She said I saw things differently than other people, that I could show feelings on paper that most folks couldn't put into words. What happened to her? Cancer took her when I was 16. Foster care after that, but they aged me out at 18 with no family, no money, no place to go." She gestured to the collection spread before them. "This is all I got left of who I really am." Malcolm understood he wasn't just looking at artwork. He was looking at a soul refusing to surrender its identity. Every drawing was an act of rebellion against invisibility, a declaration that she existed, that she mattered. "Nia," he said quietly, "these aren't just drawings. They're windows into human experience. You have a gift that could inspire thousands of people." He paused, making a decision that would change both their lives. "Would you trust me to help you share this gift with the world?" 3 weeks later, Nia stood in her first real art studio, surrounded by easels, proper brushes, and canvases that weren't rescued from trash bins. Malcolm had arranged housing at a transitional facility for young artists and enrolled at the Metropolitan Art Academy. Not as charity, but as an investment in raw talent. The adjustment wasn't seamless. Nia would wake up some mornings reaching for her backpack, panicked that her drawings were gone, before remembering they were safely displayed on her own walls. Learning to trust that tomorrow would bring security took time she hadn't expected to need. But her art flourished like never before. With proper materials and skilled instruction, her natural talent exploded into techniques she'd only dreamed of mastering. Her street portraits evolved into powerful gallery pieces that captured not just faces, but entire life stories in single frames. 6 months after that night outside Murphy's store, Nia's first solo exhibition opened at Malcolm's downtown gallery. The centerpiece was her portrait of Mrs. Chun, the same drawing that started everything, now professionally framed and priced at $3,000. The gallery was packed. Art collectors, critics, and community members crowded around her work, seeing what Malcolm had recognized that night, extraordinary talent that had been hiding in plain sight. Subscribe if you want to see more stories of dreams becoming reality, because Nia's journey from invisible to celebrated artist proves that recognition can transform not just one life, but an entire community's understanding of where genius lives. Nia's story teaches us something profound about the nature of talent and recognition. She didn't become an artist when Malcolm discovered her. She had always been one. What changed was that someone finally stopped long enough to see what was already there. Her journey from sleeping beneath that store awning to having her work displayed in galleries didn't happen because Malcolm was generous. It happened because Nia's talent was undeniable, and one person chose to recognize genius over circumstances. Today, Nia uses her success to mentor other young artists living on the streets, helping them find their voices and share their gift with a world that too often looks past them. Her story has inspired countless people to pay closer attention to the hidden potential around them. So I want to ask you, what hidden talents are you overlooking in your community? Who deserves recognition that they're not getting? How many future masters are creating beauty in places where no one thinks to look? Your attention might be the key that unlocks someone's dreams. Sometimes all it takes is one person willing to stop, look, and truly see. Hit that like button if this story moved you. Subscribe for more stories about people whose potential changed the world. And tell me in the comments about hidden talents you've discovered in unexpected places.